Welcome to Subramani. One question which none of us will ever be able to answer is, are we in a bubble? Okay, when we talk of a bubble, Schiller says bubble is a 25-year-old phenomena. The word bubble did not exist in the investment dictionary till about maybe 30 years ago, right? People never spoke about there being a bubble, but now we have heard all kinds of bubbles. We have heard of a venture capital bubble, private equity bubble, bond bubble, right? US saw a big bond bubble. You see an equity bubble, you see mid and small cap bubble, real estate bubble, real estate in parts of Navi Mumbai bubble, real estate in parts of India, real estate in Canada. All these have been bubbles. So we don't really know what is a bubble, but we can guess as to what is a bubble. So look at, instead of defining a bubble, let us describe a bubble the way Schiller does. I'll just tell you what Schiller does is a bubble, and you will be able to identify certain stocks or certain industries which in India are in a bubble or could be in a bubble. I'll give you a couple of examples, but those are not I'm saying those could be indicative. So what all are necessary for this being for it being a bubble? Of course, prices have to rise very fast. Prices have to remain there for some period of time. There have to be stories saying, wow, what a great story this is. Everybody is now going to use electric cars, and therefore Tata Power will set up many electric stations. So Tata Power is a great buy, right? So these kind of stories you have to hear. It has to check all those boxes of being fed by stories. There have to be such popular justification for the price to go off. Many brokers should talk about it and say it is a fantastic buy at 450 rupees, right? So then that pushes the bubble further up. Obviously, if you did not buy it at 7 rupees or 30 rupees or 45 rupees or whatever, there is a lot of regret. Even if you did not buy it at 300, then you are in regret. So you are sitting in the periphery saying, if the price comes down, I will buy. And from 450, the price comes to 420, maybe you think you are a buyer, but at 420, you may have other thoughts. But right now, you are all, many people who did not buy are regretting, and many people who bought are wondering whether to hold on. So greed and fear, as usual, are playing their role. Then of course there will be what Schiller calls cheerleading by the media. The media will come and say, yes, it's a fantastic buy, something is going to happen, there is a management change, the sun is coming and taking over, some Adani is going to take over this group, right? Any of these stories you will hear, media cheerleading will happen, and some of the media people may even be buying. And there will of course be huge F&O positions, a lot of people egging on the share at 450 rupees, right? So is Tata Power in a bubble? It's very difficult to say. Tata Power is a share which I have been tracking since 1982, 83. So I know this company. It used to be a fantastic dividend yield company. Effectively, it was 100 rupees share at available at 100 rupees, right? And which means you got a 7% dividend yield. It was a good investment to make. And then obviously the prices went up, then the prices came down, the prices collapsed. I think in March 2020 it was available for 30 rupees. An A group share which got removed from A group, dividend paying 5% dividend yield, Tata Group, was available at 30 rupees, and there was no reason why you could not, why you should not have bought it or could not have bought it. So this was available at such a price, and now it's a 15 bagger from 30. You could have got out at 90, you could have got out at 200, you could have got out at 400, you could have been holding at 450, and maybe it will go to 900. I have no clue. I'm only asking a question. Is it a bubble or was it a bubble? Is it a bubble today at 450? This again is a very difficult question to answer, because many shares would look like a bubble, and then later on you would realize it's not a bubble. Was Microsoft a bubble in 1990? It looked like a bubble. It had all the definitions of a bubble. Then the prices went up very quickly, and then the prices crashed. Amazon prices crashed, Google prices crashed, Facebook prices crashed, prices did fall. So when it falls, the question is, when it falls, was it a good buy? Was it a good buy when it fell 90% in value? Take the question of Reliance Power. We're moving from Tata Power to Reliance Power. So Reliance Power was 450 at the issue price. I think it was about 260 even in, let me just check the charts of the Reliance Power. Yeah, Reliance, so I have Tata Power here, I have Reliance Power somewhere. No, I don't have Reliance. Do I have Reliance Power? Yeah, I have Reliance Power chart available. So it used to be, if I go to March 2008, it was 200, and obviously sometime in 2007 peak it was 450. So at 450, was it a bubble? The question to ask is, was it a good value when it lost 90% of its price, right? So from 400 when it fell to 40, was it a good buy? Answer is no, because after that we saw the price go down to 74 in August 2014, and then 44 in Feb 18, to 1135 to 2020. The price was 1 rupee 75 paise or 1 rupee 25 paise. 1 rupee 25 paise in 2020 March, right? That is the nadir that it hit, and then it started going up, and now it is about 45 rupees. Was it a bubble at 450? Was it a bubble at 45? Will you buy the share at 45? Will you buy the share if it loses another 90% in value? These are the questions you have to answer to know whether the share price is a bubble. Is Tata Power a bubble? I really don't know. I'm not even saying it's a good buy. I'm not saying it's a bad buy. I'm not, do I have a position? Maybe I have a position. Maybe I'll close the position by the time this video is already put on, or maybe I'll hold on till it reaches 900 or 9,000 or 90,000, whatever. So I am not giving you I'm not even saying anything about those shares. Those shares I've just quoted for purposes of illustration, right? So Reliance Power, 1 rupee 25 paise in March 2020. Which is a bigger bagger, which is a 40 bagger from that price compared to a 30 bagger in Tata Power. Of course, Tata Power pays dividend, so the risk is perhaps less at 30 rupees. So I bought Tata Power. I also bought Reliance Power, and I bought Reliance Power a little later, and I also sold Reliance Power. So these kind of things will happen. So is it, what all do you think? So let us look at the market itself. Prices fall to a particular level, then it looks very attractive, so people enter. Now this always happens in a portfolio. So if the index, let's say the index is 81,000 or 80,000 or 81,000, doesn't really matter. Is there value in this Sensex if it falls to 70,000? Answer is of course yes. Can you say such things about a particular share? Can you say if Hindustan Unilever were to fall, it's a good buy? I don't know, because the PE could change permanently for a long period of time. It has not happened in the past, does not mean it won't happen in the past. But if the index falls, yes, then it looks like it is going to offer a big return, right? So therefore people will come in, and therefore people will rush to exploit the opportunity of buying that share. Obviously prices are bid up and the price goes up, so there will be index investors, non-index investors buying other components of the index. So all these things will take the index up, which means return prospects start falling after the price goes up. Let's say the market falls, let's talk only about the Nifty. If the Nifty falls from 80,000 to 60,000, will there be opportunity seekers? Opportunity seekers would have been there at every point, right? From 80, when it falls to 75, people will say it can't fall below this, so they will buy. There will be somebody buying at 74, 73, 70, 68, at 60, right? So let us say it falls only up to 60. Obviously there will be a lot of people wanting to come there and say, okay, now I see a lot of value. But those people who have short it at 80 may have covered at 75, may have short it again at 74 and covered at 70. These people are used to making money going short. Some of the others are used to making money going long. So suddenly you will have value investors coming in, buying, and then the returns are attractive, more and more people come, which leads to people saying, oh my god, it has already crossed 95,000, now let me sell. So 80, 60, then a lot of buying, 80, 95, at 95 selling, again 80. So market will continue to do this. Knowing which is a bubble and which is just a market movement is very difficult to know. So whenever you're talking of a bubble, don't look at a single share. A single share could be in a bubble. The market itself is it in a bubble now. Maybe yes, maybe no, and maybe after some time it will correct, and it may not correct also. It may just remain here for say 6 months, what we call a time correction. So if it remains at 82,000 or 81,000 for 6 months or 8 months, it has done some kind of a time correction. And after that, if interest rates fall, RBI cuts interest rates, prices could go up. It's just a simple business cycle. Would I call that a bubble? I don't know whether I want to call that a bubble. Will I call Reliance Power a bubble? Will I call Tata Power a bubble? I don't know, because later on, if suppose Tata Power goes to 600 and then it falls to 200, then you say, oh my god, at 600 it was a bubble. So whether it is a bubble, whether Microsoft was a bubble in 1990, whether Amazon was a bubble in 1999, you can only talk about it now. You can only talk about it much later, 10 years, 15 years later, and say, oh my god, that what looked like a bubble was actually not a bubble, or what looked like a very good buy at that price. Tata Power, Reliance Power for somebody looked a good buy at 400. It was in a bubble, because even at 1 rupee 25 paise there were people willing to sell, right? Maybe I bought it at 1 rupee 25 paise, but somebody sold it at 1 rupee 25 paise. So if the share has no value at after losing 99% or more than 99% of its value, then that's a bubble. But if the share is very attractive at a fall, 450 rupee Tata Power falling to 400, if there are buyers, at 390 there are buyers, at 370 there are buyers, which means for a 10% fall or a 15% fall, if there is enough buying to take the price up, it's not a bubble. But if it goes down like Reliance Power did from 400 to 125, that was a bubble. So that is a very subtle difference. Not that it matters, but look at bubbles in individual stocks rather than in industries. But in industries also you can find, if the healthcare market cap of the healthcare sector or the pharma sector is small, is less than say the market cap of HDFC Bank, you know that's a banking bubble, right? BFSI bubble, and pharma is a good buy. And take the reverse, if the market cap of Sun Pharma is greater than the BFSI market cap, believe me, such things happen. You know then pharma is in a bubble and banking is a good buy. Thank you.